Okay, good afternoon. My name is Elize Hattin and very welcome to the Smart Hub and our Thursday weekly HubLive. As you know, we bring these HubLives to you to encourage our community and our business community to adopt modern business practice and technology to ensure that we become more profitable, more viable, save time, and just to make things easier in general. Now, as you know, we've spent pretty much the biggest part of the year working through a structured approach, working through marketing, sales, etc., delivery, money, finance, and so forth. And we've pretty much finished with that whole system. So what we'll be doing for the rest of the year is I'll be speaking to some of our members to introduce what they've been doing and to tell us a little bit about their story and what tips and tricks that they have in their businesses that they can share. Hey Monique, hope you are well. Hope things are going really well in Tassie. It is Monique in Tassie, right? Yay! Hope you're going really well. Now, today we have a very, very exciting guest. In fact, I'm on the couch with Tony Davys from Rockhampton Tours and Four-Wheel Drive Training. And Tony just told me that he reminded me, I didn't know this, that he's not even been in Australia, in Rocky, for a year. You've only been here for 11 months.
That's right, end of January this year.
End of January. Hello, Tony. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's such a privilege to speak with you today. You have a really interesting story. How did you make the decision to come to Rockhampton, and where were you before?
Do you want to go a long way back?
Up to you. How far would you like to go back?
My backstory is we were in Canterbury. In New Zealand, we had our own business. We had a four-wheel drive hire company.
Yeah.
And in 2010, there was some pretty major earthquakes.
Yeah.
And the business essentially went down the toilet.
Oh.
It was pretty tough, financially, mentally, for a number of years. And
was it a tourist-based?
It was a tourist-based business, yeah.
So when the earthquake came, the tourists stopped.
Yeah, and it wasn't just a couple of big earthquakes; it was the thousands of aftershocks
that
kind of messed it up for us. So that was pretty tough.
Yeah.
One really good lesson, though, I learned out of it is that you can't rely on the fact that things won't change, and things can change in an instant.
That's correct. That's a really, really important business lesson, actually.
Just like that,
yes.
Things changed. So that was pretty bad.
How did you make your way through that time? What did you learn and do other than things can change instantly?
I had some very good people to talk to.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah,
I actually did a course which was kind of like a group psychology thing, which helped. It was really tough. It was really tough. No bones about that. I got the opportunity to move to Australia through somebody I knew who had a business in New South Wales as a tour operator and four-wheel drive instructing.
Yep.
And I jumped at the chance. So we moved a family, my wife and my twin boys who are 11 next week.
Oh,
and
awesome.
So, yeah, thank you. So we moved almost 5 years ago and haven't looked back. It was a great job. Got to see all sorts of parts of Australia. I got to lead remote tag-along tours all over the desert and up north and just wild places that I'd always wanted to see, which was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
But on a trip last year to Cape York, I stopped off in Rocky to see some friends who have a business here and got thinking about opportunities, ideas, and I talked to Wade from the council before I left to go home. And basically got back to Braidwood in New South Wales near Canberra, and I said to my wife, hey, how about we move to Rockhampton? And she said, okay. So
I love it.
Thanks, Helen. You're great.
Oh,
so
awesome.
She's been very supportive. Helen's got a full-time job. She's an environmental scientist here.
Brilliant.
So opportunity. So there's opportunity for her, the opportunity for really good schooling for the kids, and opportunity to set up my businesses. It's really two businesses in one.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. Hey Sonia, thank you so much for joining us on our HubLive today. I'm here with Tony Davys.
Hi.
Do you want to say something to Sonia?
Hi Sonia, I think I met you the other day. Yes. I know that name, hello.
Yes, I think you must have met her. She's people in our community. So as we're talking to Tony about his story. So the reason why you chose to move to Rocky is because you realised and could spot some really great opportunity in our region. even almost 12 months ago.
Absolutely. I could see what was coming through. I mean, there's a gap as far as the tourist market goes that I can see, and the amount of projects and business that's moving into the area with, you know, there's so many projects happening. And this, so the two businesses I've got, the tours are completely separate to the four-wheel drive training, but they're complementary also.
Okay, so let's talk about the actual businesses, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about your story. So you moved here in January. So you decided from the job that you'll come and start a business.
Yep.
Right. And as you just said, you have two separate businesses.
Yep.
The one is a tourism business where people can do tours with you.
People can go in my vehicle, and we can go to some really cool scenic four-wheel drivey type places.
Yeah.
Or we can also run some tours where people follow us in their own vehicles, so a tag-along tour. We'll go camping and remote, and they drive for themselves and all that. But I provide the expertise as far as I'm the safety net, if you like. That's why people do a tag-along. It's a safety net for people that might not have the experience, or even just the friends to go with on a trip. You turn up, you don't have to organise anything. It's all done for you, and away we go.
Awesome. So you provide all the food.
Not on the tag-alongs, no.
Not on the tag-alongs.
But on the in-car, so the private, like the chauffeured type trips, then yes.
Okay, awesome. So there are different levels of trips that you can do. Very, very good. So when's your next trip?
It won't be until it cools down.
Yes. Fair enough. I think everyone understands that. So when will that be? June, July?
Probably, May, June. And I've already got bookings for a Cape York trip in the first 3 weeks of September next year, so that's really good.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, three week tour. After it stops being busy and before school holidays, there's a little gap there.
The ideal time to go. I guess at Cape York, if you've always wanted to go to Cape York, is that a tag along?
Yeah.
Cape York, September 2020.
Four-wheel drive, off-road camper trailer if you've got one. Otherwise, we tent. We go to all the iconic spots and more.
Nice.
You know, it's great fun.
So you do need your own four-wheel drive vehicle?
For those tag-alongs. There's a longer in-car, so a chauffeured trip that I've got on my website, and that's a 12-day trip starting from Rocky, overnight on Great Keppel Island. But going,
where is that one?
That's kind of, doesn't matter. I can fit that around. That's just kind of.
So you can book on the website.
It's between 2 and 4 people in my car, and I do everything for you.
Oh, that sounds like heaven. Hey Dave, hey Derek, thank you so much for joining us. I'm on the couch with Tony Davys today. Over the next few weeks we'll be talking to different members, and I'm very privileged to be able to speak with Tony today. He is the owner, and I'm going to use the startup word, founder, of Rockhampton Tours and four-wheel drive training. And he really has two separate businesses, moved to Rocky less than 12 months ago because he could really see opportunity in Rockhampton, which I do believe there's heaps of opportunity, and moving forward it's only going to escalate and grow and improve. But so the four-wheel drive training, if people want to link in with you, what's the best way?
Give me a call, have a look at the website.
Your number is on the website?
Yeah, rockhamptontours.com.au. And another one of our members, John Cook, has recently upgraded the website, looking good. So, you know, you can give me a call or drop me an email. There's different types of training as well. So there's members of the public can get trained in their own vehicles, and that's like a one-on-one situation.
Yeah. Let's talk about the training. So you can do a tour. And you can be brave and just come along and just kind of hope for the best and deflate your tyres and go, she'll be right, mate.
I'll tell you what to do along the way, but kind of,
Okay, so you can be instructed along the way. Or alternatively, you can really hone your four-wheel drive training driving skills by doing training with you. Okay, so tell us about what's available and how that works.
I can do a couple of different day trainings, so private day trainings. You can do... like on Friday, just last week, I showed a guy how to use his Ranger Raptor. He's got a flash four-wheel drive, didn't really know how it worked. After a day in the sand, going to Byfield National Park, at the moment, the tracks and bike are incredibly soft.
Yes.
You do a day out there with me showing you how your vehicle works and how to actually cope with that situation and recoveries and all that sort of stuff, you'll go anywhere in sand.
Oh, really?
Anywhere. with confidence. So that's my job, and that's what I love is seeing people's confidence increase when I'm out there with them. You know, you go from, oh, I'm really terrified about driving up the sandhill to, wow, I can really do this by myself.
That's
or
awesome.
with friends. And the flip side is the corporate training. Yep. So I offer nationally accredited statement of attainment training packages. So you can get units of competency in full driving. So people who use full drives in the course of their daily work, you know, there's people who are in industry, mining, government, they require, and oftentimes require, a certificate to go and do those jobs, and they might be going to remote areas, they might be by themselves, and it basically shows you how to use the vehicle safely and confidently, and then if things don't quite go to plan, you know how to get out of it. Okay, so you have kind of 3 different types of training, just checking that my understanding with you. Number one, for individuals like me who own a 4-wheel drive, but yep.
I'm not very good.
Yep.
So I can come to you
yes.
and spend a day actually learning what to do in my own vehicle.
Yep.
And actually then learning by doing. So we'll go out to Whitefield and we go in sand or whatever I want to do.
Yep.
Right? So that's for individual people. And then you also have corporate training for mining and for people who work in government, who use 4-wheel drives and who go on rough terrain as part of their jobs. Is that correct? Yep, you've hit the nail on the head. Absolutely. So Miranda has a question. Hey Miranda, thanks for joining us today. Tony, where do you conduct your 4-wheel drive training?
Look, we've got access to a bush property close to Rockhampton at the moment. It's actually on the Scout Park, so it's not far out of town. And we are looking at a different area that's not far out of town, maybe 20 minutes. That's just happening next week. So hopefully we'll have somewhere that's got a bit more space. We can see what's going on a bit better than just confined to bush tracks. I'm also allowed, Queensland's good like this, legally allowed to train in the likes of Byfield National Park. So we can go out to Stockyard Point, 5 Rocks, 9 Mile Beach, and do some training. So what terrains do these sites offer? So you've mentioned sand. And what else do you have? So bush tracks, rocky, typical bush tracks, bush driving. Also sort of dirt road defensive driving as well. It's a big part of the government type training packages. Is a section on outback road defensive dirt road driving, if you know what I mean. So how to be safe on the dirt road and manage with whatever situation happens. Emergency stopping is a big one. You're driving along a dirt road and a kangaroo jumps out in front of you. What happens? People go, kangaroo, and then they hit a tree and die. You don't even need to be on a dirt road for that to occur. No, you don't. You do not, sadly. So sad for you and sad for the kangaroo. Having moved from New Zealand, yes, where there's nothing big to avoid, true. I had to retrain my brain, and that's a lot of what the training is. It's all about retraining your brain, because your natural reaction isn't usually the right thing to do when you're off-roading or even on dirt roads. So I had to retrain myself and my wife. So when a kangaroo jumps out in front of you, you brake hard in a straight line. Oh really? You just go brake hard in a straight line. If you absolutely have to steer around something, then you can lift your foot off the brake and go around it, but most of your speed's gone. Where people get into trouble is that they brake hard and they swerve and they lose control. What happens then? They roll, or they hit a tree, or they're off the road upside down. Okay, so brake hard in a straight line, hold on to the steering wheel, keep it firm. Okay, that's good advice. So we go through a scenario like that on a straight dirt section, and it reinforces that, because you can tell people till you're blue in the face, but till you actually do something, and then you go out and practice it. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. You don't. It doesn't incorporate into your neurological framework. That's right. Until you do it. And there's lots of things techniques that I show people in training, and even people that have been 4-wheel driving for a long, long time. I can show you stuff, and they go, "Oh wow, I've never seen that, or I didn't know that." Things like reverse door recoveries in a manual vehicle. I mean, that'll stop you from ending up in a heap at the bottom of a hill. If you don't know what that is, you need to come to training, obviously. safe vehicle recoveries are the most dangerous thing, and people get hurt and die all the time, every year, in vehicle recovery related accidents. And I say accidents, and I get really worked up about this because they're preventable accidents. They shouldn't happen in the first place.
Is it a training issue?
People think they know how to do it. They watch four-wheel drive shows.
YouTube.
They watch YouTube.
It's not the same as doing it in the field.
I generally can't watch four-wheel drive shows because they just annoy me so much. That the things they're doing are not safe.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So the things that we see online or on television is not necessarily best practice for four-wheel driving?
Generally not.
Okay. So definitely go and look at your website so that you can book in for training if four-wheel driving is your thing.
And look, a clip I put on the YouTube link the other day was the training day I did in the sand to Byfield.
Yes.
And 3 minutes of clips, and it shows you the kind of things we do. There's a couple of tidbits in there about things you can do to drive in sand better, but that's in 3 minutes. That's what we did in a day.
So where's that posted so that we can post the link?
So it's on my website's YouTube link.
We've got it. Okay, Court's already posted it. She's a
Thank you. Technology.
Absolutely. And finally, and Courtney, technology and Courtney. So if you want to see the four-wheel drive day in a snapshot in 3 minutes, go just follow the link. But watch our live first and then follow the link.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, there's another question that's coming. Let's have a look. So, there's more. We'll wait for you to write first. Jay, that's all good. Okay, so how do people then know that if they're corporate, how do they know that they should send their teams, or whether they should ask their manager to be trained? That's
something it's getting more and more important. And what I have noticed is that managers haven't realised that a lot of people, even contractors who are going up to Shoalwater, for example, the upgraded Shoalwater, those guys that are doing long hours on dirt roads, they should have some form of full drive training.
Yes.
Because if they end up in a heap or somebody dies, the manager goes before the coroner's court.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not trying to be a scaremonger, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
So I suppose it's about getting that message out there, and we've got people helping us there, which is really good. And it's just really is a matter of safety. You think, it's just a dirt road, but if you don't tackle the terrain the way it should be, or you even take a corner too fast, you don't understand how your vehicle works, and you turn off your vehicle stability control because you don't think you need it on a dirt road, and you end up upside down because of it. It's like, one of those things. It's just understanding how your vehicle works, really. There's work health and safety obligations. So, what's that question?
Let's go to the question. Miranda, is there certification of some kind at the end of your training course? I'll ask that question first, and then there's a second question. Is there certification?
Absolutely.
What kind of certification?
So for the nationally recognised statement of attainment courses, there's 2 different courses at the moment that I have on my scope, and I work through an RTO. It's IM Training, who's local. Is the first one's called a TLIC 2025, and that's operating four-wheel drive vehicle.
Yeah, so that's a certified...
Absolutely. Nationally recognised statement of attainment unit.
For?
It's a unit. It's just a unit of competency.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And then that deals with quite basic four-wheel driving, how it works, how the buttons work, actually doing four-wheel driving stuff on site. There's no recovery in that component, in that unit, and I do add it as part of that course because I think I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't teach people how to recover a vehicle safely. Okay,
so you get certification for the unit, plus you get how to recover the vehicle, which really isn't that part of that unit.
Yeah.
Traditionally.
And so that unit is more suited to government and corporate.
Yeah.
The next one that I have on my scope now is resource Industry and Infrastructure course.
Okay.
So it's 2 units,
Yes.
and those are the RII courses for vehicle driving.
Yeah.
So RII VH201D and 305E.
So again,
So they're-
RTO certified units.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah, you get a certificate at the end of it. My day courses, they're $495 per person.
Yeah.
That includes your statement of attainment.
Nice.
The private courses are $550, and that's for 2 people,
Wow.
whereas the other ones each person.
Yes.
The private courses, unless you specifically ask for a statement of attainment, there's no certificate at the end of that one.
Okay.
But that's for 2 people for the whole day, with just you and me. So you learn an awful lot. So that the resource industry, the RII courses, that's 2 units.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question is, do you have a list of skills covered in your courses?
Do I have a list of skills? They are outlined on the website.
Yes.
And for each unit there is a summary of what they cover, and essentially that's what's in those units. And you can always go to training.org.government anyway, or the training site, to see what's included in those particular units. You can actually look them up. Anybody can.
Yeah, so just Google. Just Google it. Okay, so remind us of your website again.
Rockhamptontours.com.au.
Nice.
And you have to choose tours or training at the start.
Okay, and then, or you can go back and then choose the different ones if you want to see both. That's brilliant. Miranda, thank you so much for asking questions. I'm loving the questions. Please continue to ask questions. Hey, John, thank you so much for joining us. We have the incredible Tony Davys with us today, talking about, number 1, why you go to Rocky for opportunity. Good on you. And secondly, what you offer and how people can get in contact with you. So what are your observations around business in Rockhampton and being part of the Smart Hub?
So the support we've received has been incredible. Joining the Smart Hub was the best thing I ever did because of that community, I suppose, and I wasn't feeling like I was working in isolation.
Yes, that's a big thing.
Especially after having been in a business in New Zealand where there wasn't that support, and then things went really badly. Getting back into business was nerve-wracking, and yes, there's been times this year that have got the stress levels up, but you just have to work through it. But the support has been fantastic, and anybody else who's in business as well has been amazing. It's quite overwhelming at times that people want to help you.
Yeah, they really do.
They really do.
Yeah.
And that's been amazing. It's been great and quite humbling, actually.
That's awesome.
And it's sometimes you kind of go, hey, this is all working. It's going like it's meant to go.
That's when it's good. Right?
And but you kind of go, no, it's real, I don't know. But it seems strange, maybe. But after going what we've been through in the past, anyway.
Yeah, I can imagine that and I think a lot of business people can relate to what you're saying, where if you've had a significant challenge or where you've lost your business due to whatever reason, including natural disasters, which is what happened to you. Hey, Juan, thank you so much for joining us. When you've been through something that challenging, and it's taken a while for you to recover mentally, financially, and emotionally, and financially, and your family, and for you to find a new place, and to have the courage to have another go. I think a lot of people don't have that courage, but when you find that courage and it finally works out, you're almost like, what? This is working. Really?
No, that's how it's been.
Yeah.
It's been, I don't quite believe that it's all coming to
All
fruition.
the ducks are aligned,
And
lining.
a lot of friends in New Zealand said, duck lining. A lot of friends in New Zealand went, hey, well, you're starting a business again, really?
Yeah.
Because they know what we went through, and it was really tough.
Yeah.
But hey, if you don't have a crack, you never know.
Well, this is really interesting. I think in the US, people expect that you're going to fail at business a couple of times before you succeed. And they almost, I know that they have wakes for businesses. So when things fall over, we have a wake, you bring all your family
Really?
and your friends in. We almost, commiserate and celebrate at the same time because you're one step closer to that success. You can tick off the list your first failure and maybe you have a couple of those, and then in your third go you actually succeed. Where in Australia, if you this is my observation, I might be wrong, in Australia we don't seem to tolerate that approach very well. Yeah, we don't seem to understand that failure is part of the business journey as much. And you always learn more from failing than you do from succeeding.
Oh.
And it's what you learn along the way that helps you succeed eventually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I have so much respect for what you've done, Tony. Just the courage that you've shown to move here, move your whole family here, just slot into the Smart Hubs, become part of the fabric of this place in our community.
I have a very supportive wife.
Yes, you do. You're very lucky.
Thanks, Helen. She's
very
great.
lucky.
She's great.
That's awesome. Okay, so do you want to share with us maybe just one thing that you think is a really important tip or lesson in business or any part of business in general? Just one thing. If you could share one thing that would make a difference for someone if they could implement that one thing, what would that be?
Far out. The technology part of it is really important. And going from being in business a number of years ago to having a gap where I was the guy out doing the stuff and not having to deal with the business side of it, to then being in business again, the technology has just moved ahead in leaps and bounds.
Yes, it
and
has.
trying to keep up with that is difficult, but once you embrace it, it can make things so much more useful, streamlined, helpful. Just the way things integrate these days is incredible. I learned a new one yesterday, HubSpot.
Yes,
and integrating it with my Gmail. Like, wow, look at this. So I suppose using that technology to your advantage is really good. Having a good website, thanks, John, and also being able to integrate that with technology, booking sites and things like that is. I know it's been around for a long time, but that's pretty important, I think.
I love that you mentioned technology, and I think everything you said is so valid. Even though technology has existed for a long time, it's still tricky when you haven't fully embraced technology in your business. And I know that what you've done is you've been able to build your business through embracing technology. It's kind of the journey has been integrated. You've done both simultaneously. But do you think that the Smart Hub has been helpful in terms of in terms of number one, exposing you to what kind of technology to adopt, but secondly also helping you with the resources required to get that done, maybe the community or the
Absolutely.
resources?
The number of courses that I did that I held weekly or tri-weekly, it was incredible, and that just really gave me a leg up, I suppose. And then being able to just harass people and go, hey, how do you do this? John, Maddie,
It's really cool. That's pretty cool about our co-working space where you're sitting kind of next to people. We don't encourage disruptions and interruptions, but I do know that there's an amazing sense of community, and we have a really great help first, give first.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everyone is so helpful.
Absolutely,
and give.
That's been great. And you buy somebody a coffee every now and again, and it everybody's happy. So that's been great. So the learning, the courses, and the being able to talk to people is fantastic. Because I'm not an office person. I'm supposed to be out.
Exactly.
I'm supposed to be outside doing stuff, and even just sitting in front of a computer for most of the year. I've got reading glasses now. That's not me generally, and everybody's welcoming and just helpful. So it's awesome.
That is awesome. Well, from our perspective, Tony, you've been a really great addition to our membership base. Thank you very much for being part of our community.
Thanks.
And I know that you give as much as what people help you. You're very, very, very open and giving. So we really appreciate that. Any parting words? Anything that you'd like to share before we say goodbye?
If you're not a member, you should join up.
Oh, yeah, it is a great community. It's very welcoming.
Yeah, absolutely. Parting words. Be open to opportunities. Really. It's all, if you don't try, you don't know. Really, that's
inspiring.
That's my parting word.
I love that. Be open to opportunities. If you don't try, you don't know.
That's right. You've got to give it a go, because otherwise you might be sitting in that job forever that you hate and whinging to your co-workers.
True, that's true. That's true. And every day you're in a situation that you don't want to be in. Your life is ticking.
That's right.
Ticking away.
You get one go at it.
Yeah, true. And you mentioned there are ups and downs, but it's all part of the journey.
For sure.
This is real life.
And that's how you deal with the ups and downs as well. You know, I've always been proud of my down moments, but you learn. You really do. So, hey, here's to the ups as well.
Definitely.
It's on its way, it's coming, it's good. Things are happening, it's been great, so thanks for your help.
Oh, thank you. So, finally, 2020. What's 2020 looking like for you?
All my ducks are in a row.
Yay!
And the contacts that I've built are coming to fruition. Things are looking really good, and people are wanting to support us in business and what I've set up, and that's great. I think it's going to be a busy year, as far as, I suppose I wanted it all to happen so quickly, and you don't have a business until everything is lined up.
Yeah, it's true.
And you can't speed those up, I've discovered. Yeah. It just has to happen when it happens. You do your compliance, you do your things that need doing. So next year, that's our time to actually make some money. Yay.
That sounds really, really great. Yeah, it's a little bit like building, I'm thinking an engine almost. There's a lot of work that needs to be done before you can turn that key.
That's right.
And before it all goes humming along and the wheels are turning. Yeah, and so, you just have to systematically, especially in the beginning, systematically build all these systems.
That's right.
That once they're all built and you put that last little bit in place, then it does go way. Yeah, and you're at that point.
Yeah.
So that's really great. Mr. Tony Davys, if anyone is interested in either four-wheel drive tours or four-wheel drive training, reminders of your website again.
Rockhamptontours.com.au.
Rockhamptontours.com.au. I know that would be posted in the comments as well. And it was a real privilege for you. Yes.
One last thing. Experiences for Christmas presents.
Yeah, what a great idea.
Sand driving day or a sand driver training day.
Sand driving day or a sand driving training day.
Yeah, so you can do a tour or a training day, or both. You could do a tag along, which is also a training day.
I really love
Experiences. We're talking about experiences lately, as far as giving gifts.
So we can purchase a voucher on your...
Probably.
So just email.
Hey John, can you just do that on the website, please?
Put a voucher on the website, but at least people can email you
Absolutely.
and say, hey, I want to buy this gift for my loved one or my friend.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Thank you.
That is a great idea. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week we will be back with yet another one of our members. We have some really exciting people to talk to over the next few weeks. So please join us all the way up to Christmas on Thursdays at 1 o'clock. We probably will have a few weeks off over January, so get your fill of our HubLives before that happens. Hope you have a wonderful week and happy last few days of November. We will see you next week on Thursday at 1 o'clock. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.